Hey Ringside crew. Welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe Panther III.
Hello there, wrestling fans. Welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am your host, Joe Panther III. And man, today, fans, you're in for a treat. This young lady came on the podcast back in the day, and for some silly reason, Mama Panther decided to bring me on a trip to the mall to look for a new polo. But I thought I could get back in time, but it's a long time ago, and we have to forget about that, Joe. Get over it, because polos are beautiful, and you can't focus on one at a time. But today, this lady is decided to come back on because, I kept getting messages on my phone from Mystery Things, and it said, if you don't bring her back on the podcast, it's going to be lots of trouble. And I was like, who is this? But then I got nervous, and I messaged her, and she says, just no problem, no problems. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside podcast welcome to the Mafia Princess, Bella Bronx. Welcome back,
everybody, and thank you for having me, Joe.
Oh, welcome. See, I told you you'd be back.
I'm happy to be back. It's an honor, actually. Thank you.
And it's funny. I was like, why do I keep getting these mystery phone calls telling me, Joe, you gotta do it this time? Okay, I can't stare at the polos like in the mirrors at the mall anymore. Like those polos are beautiful. I love polos. But I have an awesome T-shirt on today.
Love it. Thank you
Bella
so
Bronx,
much for
Mafia
supporting.
Princess. I'm there you go.
Thank you.
Like, where did you come up with the idea for the T-shirt? Like, it's a nice design.
Well, I'm not going to take the full credit on it. So I actually had the shirt designed by Lufisto.
Oh,
Lufisto. She did it for me. I gave her the idea, and I told her, I'm going to give you full reins on this. You take it, run with it. Whatever you decide, let me know. Shoot it over, and I'll take a look. I didn't even have to change it. I didn't even have to have her edit, nothing. I just went with it. I really loved the design. She took everything I wanted and made it just perfect. So when it came to making the T-shirt, I said, we're going to make it as big as the T-shirt. Because, some of the logos are small. Some of them don't take up the entire shirt. So I'm like, the T-shirt
sometimes they just go to halfway,
Right? Let's make it right in the middle so it stands out. And the one request I had was just to put the breast cancer ribbon on the right side of the arm.
Yeah, that's the most important part. You're honoring like breast cancer. I lost my grandmother of breast cancer awareness in 2008, and it's still hard to me knowing that she's gone because she was such a good person. She was so funny. I got her. She was raised in Boston, Massachusetts, and this little Yankee fan got a Boston fan to think. See the other side of the Yankees Red Sox rivalry, and she became like the diehard Yankees fan. And it's kind of cool to know that a Red Sox fan from Boston, Massachusetts, saw the dark side and saw the cookies smelled nicer than they did in Fenway.
Oh my God, that's so cute. Sorry, that's touching.
Yeah.
For me, it hits home because I was 24 when they found my lump, and I'm gonna say, Joe, I was really lucky compared to other people. I was very fortunate. It was caught in time. It didn't fully develop to where they expected it to be. It was like just basically they called it a little hazelnut.
Yeah.
That was forming, and if it stayed longer, it was forming to a malignant tumor. And I had no symptoms, no signs. I was 20 years old, and to me, it holds a special place because I was one of the lucky ones, but there's others there that aren't as lucky as me. So I always wear the pink ribbon as my ribbon of hope, courage, support. If there's someone out there who is going through it or like has a friend who's going through it and they don't know how to cope with it, I always tell everyone, you know what? Hey, I'm a message away. Like even now to this day, I was 24 when it happened. I'm 34 now. It's 10 years later. It still gets me when I go for a checkup and a lump's found.
Oh my gosh.
Because my thing is, what if this time I'm not as lucky? what if this time it's not like before? So it's always in the back of my head, and it truly hits home. And you try to be strong some days, and just some days it really gets you. Like even now, I'll be honest, I had to take a step back last year from the ring again, due to health reasons. And even now, like, you have procedure after procedure after procedure, and it's, when is it the end? That's all I say. When is it the end? When can I start feeling normal again? And when can I do what I want to do again? I have a wonderful support system. Everyone's so great and helpful, but it's just so hard sometimes to be happy and put on that face, like, and just pretend everything's okay when it's not.
Mm.
So I always tell everyone, you're going to have your good days and you're going to have your bad days, but if you ever need anything or you need to speak to someone, you shouldn't feel alone. So I tell everyone, hey, I'm a message away. You can message me on Instagram.
That's good to have, Bella. Like a lot of people think that they staying by themselves and like doing their own thing is good, but it's in this world, in this way of social media, it's always good to have like a friend on the other side. Like you don't know me, but like we've always been in contact with each other like ever since
Yeah.
last time when I messed up. But like that in your heart that was a mistake, and
Yeah.
anything happens. Everything
Hey,
happens.
things happen, and you know what? Like I tell everyone, we all have lives, and sometimes you don't mean to, but things happen, and they're out of your control. And it's not like you don't want to be somewhere, but sometimes you just can't help due to the situation and the circumstances. And I tell everyone, you'd be surprised how a little understanding and support goes a long way, and kindness. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. So
Yeah.
like when it comes to your you with your return to the ring, like was it harder to get back in the ring and do like the rehab to get back into the ring, or was it easier to just step back in?
I'm gonna be honest. My first time going into wrestling was right after I was cleared. So I was
Mhm.
about 26, 27 when I first started wrestling. And I thought, life's too short, give it a shot. I make it, I make it. If not, if I fall flat on my face, hey, at least I could say I tried. But you can live with no regrets. I found going into it cleared was a lot better than me going back after a recovery. And I'm not going to lie, I feel out of place going back. I feel like I'm not even like where I wanted to be, where I was before I left, because I felt like I was 1,000 steps ahead. Now I just feel like I'm about 5,000 behind. And I get so angry with myself. And it's not that I can't keep up, or it's not that I can't do it anymore. It's just, I guess my anxiety then kicks in too, because I feel like you've been gone for so long. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you even bothering? You know what? Like, your anxiety and the depression kicks in, and it's your own brain that plays tricks on you too. It's not like anyone around you is negative about the situation. Like, they're all welcoming, but it's your own brain playing tricks on you and going, okay, what the hell are you doing? Shut the world out, go away, go stay by yourself. That's what you want. And I try to overcome it, and I have to talk myself out of it. Now, like, I'm going back as of July. I was supposed to be cleared for this July. It was originally January, but then another procedure had to take place. So unfortunately, the recovery time took a little longer as well. And it just kept piling. So now it's like, can I go back or not? Just tell me, and I'll accept what answer comes my way. I'll have to accept it, basically. So it got to the point where this year I sat back and realized, do I want to wrestle or do I want to stop? And I thought about it and I said, maybe I'll just stop. I had fun. I met a lot of wonderful people, and maybe it was just time to focus on other stuff, because maybe it wasn't meant for me anymore. But it kind of saddened me in a way, because that little girl was still inside that wanted to wrestle. And you try not to let it get to you, Joe. You try not to mentally.
Mm.
And I know there's so many people out there suffering from the same issue, and I know I'm not alone on it. And it's just so tough, because you want to jump back in, but you can't, health-wise.
Mm.
So after like going back and forth with tests and everything, they decided to clear me like a light clear, they call it, a not full clear, but a light clear, just to get me back in the ring so I could feel a bit of like that I'm sane and not insane at the moment, if that
Mm.
makes sense, mentally. So if all goes well, I'll be going back this Wednesday to practice for my first one in months, and I'm really looking forward to it. I really miss the team. I miss my coach. I made so many wonderful friends, and they're just so supportive and so helpful, and I miss that environment, and I need that in my life. The more positivity you have, like I tell everyone, surround yourself with positive people. Yeah.
So Bella, if you couldn't like stay in the ring and wrestle, would you like try to like stay a little bit in the business to keep the young wrestlers like give them like a comfort pillow, or like try to be a manager to any of the younger wrestlers?
To be honest, I never thought of doing anything else outside of that. I really never did. Like a friend of mine goes, "Why don't you try reffing?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, I can't ref." I said, they tell you the ref needs to stay out of the way, but knowing my luck, I'm gonna be in the way. You know what I mean? Like,
Don't
you
get
just think
involved in the
about
match and actually pop somebody. Give them
without
a
even
stunner.
realizing, you just get involved in the match. And then I'm like, I thought that would, then I said, okay, maybe it's a possibility, but not 100%. And then another friend said, "Well, why don't you try announcing?" And I'm like, "Oh God, no, I would never announce. My voice is terrible." Like I said, I don't have an announcer's voice. Like I wish I did, like a Lillian Garcia. Like I don't have that. I wish I did. But I said I don't. And some people have it and some people don't. And I'm like, I'm one of them that just doesn't. I
Mm.
can't lie and say I do because I don't.
Yeah, that's just like the crazy thing. Like everybody's always asked me, because when I go to shows, I wear like the coats and everything, and I'm like, you'd be an interesting manager. I'm like, and as soon as they set their hands on me and they punch me in the face and they hit my glasses, and I'm like, immediately I'll be like this on the ground, like this. I need more glasses. Broken my glasses.
I
Like,
feel so bad. Me too. I wear contacts because if not, I can't see a foot in front of me.
well, these are not prescription, but like, you know what I mean? Like, they break my glasses, and I'm like, Amazon Prime, red glasses.
These
Like,
glasses.
I'll be like, last words. Joe's last words were red glasses. Amazon.
Red glasses, Amazon. Click.
Amazon, give me your phone.
So now I know where you got your glasses. All right, good to know.
Yep, Amazon. My mom, I saw them from I didn't. These were like a Christmas present. These ones. But I had another pair that my mom got me, like smaller, rounder, like regular glasses. I went to see Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire, and they just disappeared. Yeah, they don't know
Oh my
yet.
goodness.
I'm so sad. I want them back because I wear these, and my friend kind of joked and said these are kind of big, and they're kind of goofy looking. And I'm like, thanks for giving me that. That makes me feel so much better.
But it's kind of your style. It makes you stand out. It's different.
Yeah,
And
and I have
everyone
my
knows, hey,
originals that you never see me in.
oh, those are the originals. Okay.
These are the originals. Yep, no lenses. They're kind of like my mom, my sister. I wore them to a show like around the time I started doing my own thing. We went to a show in Brooklyn, New York. Me and Angie, me and Sassy Chica, my sister, we went to a show in Brooklyn, New York. It was like a church show, and I wore my blue suit jacket with the black shirt. And after the show, my twin sister, of course, Angela, had to be sassy, had to give me the earful of a lifetime. Randy, don't ever wear those glasses at the show. You look so cartoonish. And I was like, that's my character. That's my theme. Everybody knows me by the little glasses with the little like drawn on paw prints in the corners. That's me. That's my whole thing. She didn't get it. She's like, my mom's like, you look childish on the way you wrote on them. I'm like, that's the way it is, you know? So like, yeah. So with you, like your gimmick, the Mafia Princess, did you come up with that, or was it your trainer?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, my coach came up with that. We went through so many names. So I gotta give props to Anthony Corelli, Santino Marella, because he came up with the name. when I was ready for my debut match, he goes, Francesca, what are we doing? And I was sitting there going, I don't even have a name. I thought of a name, but it's like, yeah, it just. So he looks at me the night before the show. We're all at practice, and he goes, okay, so you're going to be Bella Bronx. And I was like, Bella Bronx? The first thing I said was, seriously? Like, I didn't want the name. I was like, nah. So he's like, okay, then you got to come up with a better name because show's tomorrow night. Well, the show happens, and I still don't have a name. So, we're talking backstage. They're like, you need to be announced. What's your name going to be? And I just looked and I said, I guess I'm going to be Bella Bronx. And it just stuck because I didn't even have a name that would have been close to that. But in reality, it was the perfect name that he had given me. It grew and it became one of the best things that ever happened for me in wrestling. Actually, the name just itself was kind of
It
funny
sounds cool. Like if you like, even though Papa Panther kind of gave it the red line under it, even though because the Bronx, the Brooklyn's known for the mob, but still, I thought it was cool when I first heard it back in the day. I was like, Bella Bronx.
Yeah. I got to give it to Anthony Carelli because he gave me the name because I couldn't come up with that.
Thank you, Santino.
To the Cobra, yeah. So he gave me the name, and it just, so everywhere I go, it stuck with me. Even a lot of times they get asked, do you want to, nope, I'm going to stick to the name I had, Bella Bronx. So everywhere we go, we're known as the Bronx family. So even if I'm at a show, they're like, hey, is Mama and Papa Bronx here? And I'm like, yeah, Papa Bronx is like right over there, and they'll see him, and he's sitting and he waves. And it's funny, now my dad got his own little nickname on it. So it became like more sentimental than anything. The name actually stuck. I liked it. It grew.
That's pretty cool that like everybody knows your family as the Bronx family. That like, have you ever actually got a chance to go to the Bronx and like take a picture by the sign or like go to the Bronx?
No, not yet. So we're hoping to do a family excursion. I'm not gonna lie. My dad's not well either, so he's
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's had a lot of health issues. So not only am I not well sometimes, but my dad's gotten the worst of it actually. We call it a blessing that he's here with us actually. He suffered through 3 heart attacks.
Oh geez.
Yeah, the third one we were lucky. It happened with us here, so I performed CPR until the paramedics got here to help him. So within that 5 minutes, we were able to help him before they got here. But his wish is to do a trip to Florida, a last trip to Italy to go back home, and to travel to New York.
Oh gosh, if I'm in the city, Bella, we have to find out if. Oh my God, that'd be hilarious. If I'm in Brooklyn, and I'm like, I'm on this street in this area. I'm like, Angela, we have to go meet Bella Bronx. She's like, who? My sister. Here we go. This is gonna make you think the trip to Brooklyn would be cool because my sister's wife's family owns for 3, I forgot how many generations. They own a Carvel.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like family owned and everything. Carvel. Have you ever had Carvel ice cream?
No, but I've heard of it.
It's like delicious. That's the best ice cream you'll ever have. Like they have ice cream sandwiches. They make cakes. Every hour they're coming out with a new cake. Like coming out made cake and putting it.
Oh, it's family owned and up. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I have to ask you. You have to get free ice cream and cake.
I get free. This is a funny story. Angela Classy Chica watches this episode, Bella. It's gonna be fists are gonna be flying, and then he's gonna be like, "You don't hit to Randy." I was at my sister's wedding. Me and Nanny were sitting next to each other, and she's like, "Randy, what's the matter? Are you okay?" I said, "You know what's missing at this wedding, Nanny?" She's like, "No, what's missing?" Ice cream sandwiches. Thanksgiving comes around. Angela goes, "Randy?" I'm like, "Yes, Sassy." And I hear I hear like a paper bag, like you have Nanny wrapped around your little finger. Looked over. Each bag has 2 sleeves of the ice cream saucers. Strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate.
Hey, you can't go wrong. Neapolitan.
Oh
Typical.
no, like different versions of the ice cream sandwiches, like
Oh, really?
chocolate,
Oh, because
vanilla,
I thought it
and
was
then two
together on
sleeves
one
of strawberry.
sandwich.
Yes,
Oh, yum.
yes.
Like, I'll
Hmm.
be honest, I'm not an ice cream eater, but if you put an ice cream sandwich in front of me, I will not refuse.
Yes, and they have all different types of like soft serve ice cream at Carville. They have chocolate, strawberry, vanilla, they have banana, they have like all different
Ooh,
types. Pistachio. I have to do the hand thing because all I can think is the claw, the
the
arm.
claw that pushes it down.
Y-
Now, if I'm ever in the area, I will stop for ice cream there and I will tell them this place was very recommended by Joe.
My Joe Panther the third gives it the thumbs up. It's a and you know I also you would have to go there. Do you know Impractical Jokers,
It's
the
ringing a
comedy
bell.
show?
Yes, yeah.
They actually went to their place for an episode.
Okay.
Yeah, no joke,
Okay.
no shit. This is serious. That's a
That is
serious,
so
serious
cool.
thing.
I'm
Mhm.
surprised they weren't on like that TV show that the chef that goes around diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Yeah, I don't know what. Maybe because it's a Carvel. So he's probably like, oh, corporate name. Probably didn't like that. Probably.
You should have went there too. That would have been so cool to see that on that show. I used to love
Yeah.
watching that. That's why I was like, I wasn't on that show.
So with you, Bella, like after your shows, like what is your go-to like your dinner? Like what do you like to have? Because I know after a lot of wrestling shows, a lot of things are closed. In America, it is. I don't know about in Canada.
Yeah.
What is like your favorite thing to eat?
Okay, so you're gonna laugh. I don't really eat after a show,
Oh
especially depending
no.
on the time. Yeah. But one thing I will do is, depending if it's open, because I love Starbucks, I'll stop and either get a coffee or a strawberry acai refresher.
Okay.
Or if the Starbucks is near me and it's closed, I usually stop at McDonald's and either get a coffee frappe or a mango pineapple smoothie, depending on the mood I'm in.
Yeah.
And that's what I have for my ride home.
Like, how do you feel that like a lot of the wrestlers that like I remember interviewing from the past of dudes at ringside from the Canadian wrestling scene that we both of us know. We mentioned Amy Crimson, like someone
Yeah.
like that. Like, how do you feel that they're gone? Like you have like other wrestlers that you probably remembered, they're gone now.
I
Like,
miss Amy. She was honestly, I really enjoyed training with her. She was a sweetheart. I I wish I kept in touch with her more just to see how she's doing. She was great. Like I remember when she first came to practice, and we hit it off. We became friends, and just to watch her grow and the things she's done and accomplished, I it was really nice to see. Like she deserved it. She worked hard, and I was really sad to see that she's not wrestling as much anymore. So if she's watching this, I just want her to know I really miss her. Amy, get back in the ring. I miss you.
Amy, we miss you on Dudes Ringside. Definitely would love to have you back on to
Yeah.
hear what you've been doing since you haven't been in the ring. Like,
Yeah.
if you could pick anybody from the past, it doesn't have to be indies, to be either one more match or to have in your corner, who would it be?
Oh, that's tough. Cause like there's so much like past and present. It could be indie, it could be, anywhere. It's just so tough. But one person who stood out to me when I was younger and like seeing her transform and the things she's done and where she stood in the ring. Sensational Sherry was one that was amazing.
Mm,
China, um, to me, Trish Stratus, someone I looked up to too. Miss Elizabeth.
yeah.
Like, if I can look back, like it would be between. Oh, it's so tough. But if I had to choose, Sensational Sherry or Miss Elizabeth.
Can you see her? Can you imagine her outfit? Because she always had that outfit that matched the wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
What would you draw up for her to wear in her makeup style? What would you have her put on, like the makeup, or have her outfit?
The outfit, it all
Yeah, what kind of outfit
depends.
would you have her in? Because you know how she always has that. You remember her outfits would always sort of match the character
Yeah.
that she was with. Like when she was macho, she had the cat face, Or when
Yeah.
like Shawn Michaels, she had the hearts on her face. Like, what would you have her like? What would you say? Okay, it draw up to have her outfit look like.
Okay, well, I'd have her because I'm not much of a dress person. I hate dresses, to be honest. I hate them myself because I've always been someone who loves pants. So for me to wear a dress was like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
So I would have to say, like, I'd probably, if it's Sensational Sherry, 110%, I'd have her wear a pink ribbon over here on her cheek. We'll change it up a bit because she had the cat eye, she had the hearts. We're gonna change it up. So I would have her do a pink ribbon here, and 110%, I would have her wear a pantsuit, like a jumpsuit, but with all sequins, but Sensational Sherry style.
Okay. I would have her put an Italian flag over, or like the Brooklyn Bridge. Oh my God, can you see it? The ribbon, but then have on this eye. Wait, dang it! This eye have like the bridge to the Bronx, and have this eye look like Yankee Stadium. So like the bridge is coming across, and it's Yankee Stadium with the full crowd or over her other eye.
That'd be kind of creative, actually, to see.
Right? Have like the
Yeah.
bridge and have the Yankee Stadium, or have like a baseball that looks like the
Yeah.
shape of Yankee Stadium over the other eye.
Right.
Right?
I can
Right?
see
Like you,
that. Yeah.
yeah. So if they don't get the whole baseball with Yankee Stadium, it's the Bronx. Get it? Bronx.
Yeah. Bronx. I like it.
Yeah.
It stands out. I
Well,
like it. Bronx.
before we go, Bella, if there was any kids like, 17, 18, 19 years old that wanted to get into this business, they just didn't know what kind of route to take, what kind of advice would you give them?
The best advice I can give is do your research. Make sure you're wanting to do this. Give it your time and your heart and soul. It might take a little bit. Each wrestler has a different journey. Some of us get there faster, some of us don't. Some of us have things in between that might stop you from getting there for a bit, but it doesn't mean it's not for you. One thing I always say is don't give up and find an amazing coach that'll be there to support you and help you and pick you up when you feel like you're not gonna, when you feel like giving up, it's still there for you no matter what.
Bella, before we go, how can my fans pick up one of your t-shirts?
They can message me on Instagram and I can ship it out.
Awesome. Bella, I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for coming back on the podcast, sharing your story. It makes me smile so much to know that you came back on and you actually we sat and hung out and we talked about your story and you and your family, and I hope all the best for your dad and everything with you and your family. Send my love. Give Papa a big hug for me. Tell him he says, Papa Panther, Joe Panther, the Panther family. We send our love, send our respect.
I will.
Love and
Thank you. It means
respect
a
the
lot for
family.
having me.
Always got to respect our elders. So respect our elders. Respect everybody. If you know somebody that's having a problem with like breast cancer and you just help them. If there's any charities, try to donate. It's good to buy stuff from the indie wrestlers. Definitely pick up her shirt. It's nice. I'm Joe Panther the Third.
And I'm Bella Bronx.
And we will catch you in the next one.